What does this say here, this thing here?
That's the usual clause. That's in every contract. That just says, if any of the parties participating in this contract are shown not to be in their right mind, the entire agreement is automatically nullified.
Well, I don't know.
It's all right. That's in every contract. That's what they call a sanity clause.
You can't fool me. There ain't no sanity clause.
What's up, posers, and welcome to Punk Lotto Pod. I'm your co-host, Justin Hensley.
I'm your other co-host, Dylan Hensley. I was trying to think of a Christmas name.
Yeah, that's why my intro was kind of weird, too, because I was like, how do we intro the Christmas episodes? I didn't go back and refer to them. Yes, this is our, I don't know, I haven't really counted it, maybe our fourth one of these Christmas episodes that we've done. We, for years, kind of skipped over the idea of doing Christmas episodes because we're like, there's not enough. I don't know why we thought that. There is actually enough to do. Now, whether it's all good, today's episode might tell you. But there's actually plenty to pull from. So yeah, this is probably the fourth time we've done a Christmas episode. This one, we did a couple of years in a row where we had a poll. And then we just went through we put like 12 things in the poll, and then anything that got a vote we did for like the next 3 years. So I think this is the first one we're doing under the newer method. It's not even a new method, but what we've started doing with the Halloween episodes this year of assigning a year and just picking something from that year to talk about. So yeah, all of that is to come. We will be talking a little bit more. But if you go to patreon.com/punklautopod, that's where you get access to all of our weekly bonus audio. And last week we did not do a regular News of the World I'm Listening 2-in-1 type thing, though you can get some of my solo Best of 2025 content. We have the biggest disappointments of 2025, the top songs of 2025, and up next most likely will be the top reissues / compilations / live albums of 2025. So all that stuff should be up this week and next week too. So we'll get a couple weeks of that. We'll probably won't do any regular bonus audio for a minute just because of the holidays and everything coming up. You can join our $5 tier though and get access to last week's extra play where, what did we talk about, Dylan?
We talked about Swizz with Dave.
Right. Released in 1992. This is a poll-determined winner. So this is, we put a poll up, people voted on it, and that's what we talked about for the month. And that is our producer audio. The $5 producers also get their name said on the show. So shout out to our producers, Dave Brown, writer of the newsletter Oklahoma Lefty, and my co-host on Bookenders, which there should be a Bookenders soon as well. We have our album picked out. We haven't set a recording date, but I could see that going up the week of New Year, maybe, but no promises. Shout out to Jason W., writer of the newsletter Songs About Chocolate and Girls. Shout out to Zach in Oregon. And shout out to Steve Long, host of the podcast Rebel Nerd Radio, as well as the writer of the newsletter The Otter Limits. And he has been posting his best of 2025 content as well. Oh, Dave also posted his on his Substack, his top, I don't remember what number, 50 albums. And then Jason's should be on the way too. I think he's going to wait till closer to the actual end of the year. Kind of like us, but... And then there's the $10 tier where you choose the album we devote an entire episode to. So, all the plugs out of the way. It's Christmas time. Sure doesn't feel like it at my house. But...
No. Christmas spirit is low.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, cat jumped on the computer. Yeah, I've done some Christmassy stuff. We've decorated for Christmas. We've watched a couple of Christmas movies, and... we watched all the Christmassy skits of I Think You Should Leave, and
yeah.
Santa brought it early.
I almost was saying that at work, because there was a commercial saying, like, Christmas came early, and I was almost like, Santa came early! And then I almost was like, are we even gonna get anything for Christmas?
They brought in our Christmas tree at work, and I was there that night and it was really funny because normally we get a very large Christmas tree, and this year we did not. And it was like 3 guys carrying it in, and it was like 2 people could have carried it. Like it's laughably small compared to the Christmas trees we normally get. Everybody was just like, "Are we poor?" Like,
uh-oh. Cutting back, huh? Yeah, no Christmas tree at my house. There hasn't been one for years, though. With our cats, a tree would not stand a chance, so we don't even put one up. We don't really decorate. My wife and I are not Christmassy people. That's not really our thing. My wife actively dislikes Christmas for the most part, so we don't really do anything at home. I don't listen to music, Christmas music, really. I listen to Christmas music like Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, and that's usually it. And though, honestly, I feel like I haven't been inundated with Christmas music everywhere I've gone this year. And I don't know if that's me just not paying attention or every store's not playing Christmas like super loud. I don't know. I mean, I imagine if I went to the mall, I'd hear plenty of it, but I don't know. I feel like I haven't heard too much.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard a whole lot of Christmas music. Somebody at work has played Christmas music in the kitchen a couple of times, but like I haven't been going to like very many stores. But yeah, I guess thinking of like going into Target or something recently, I don't recall hearing Christmas music. There might have been playing in it, and I just didn't pay attention. But yeah, I haven't really listened to any Christmas records. I haven't really listened to any Christmas music. I usually go pretty in on Christmas stuff, and just have not been in the right headspace for it this year, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, not in the mood for it. Yeah, I don't know. It always took a lot to get me there anyway, and yeah, it's even harder to even get there now for me. But yeah, it's Christmas time, and I mean, we're not going to do the like, what do you think of Christmas music thing? We've addressed that a few times doing these Christmas episodes, so we don't really have to repeat ourselves, other than if this is the first time you're hearing us do a Christmas episode, we don't really listen to a lot of Christmas music. I think Dylan probably listens to more than me, but
yeah, I would say so. I do listen to a fair amount of Christmas music. I'm not like around-the-clock Christmas music, but I usually do listen to a good bit. And have not this year. Haven't played my Christmas playlist at all yet. I do need to clean up my Christmas playlist. That is part of it. In the last couple of years, I've put too much stuff on it that I don't want to hear, and I need to clean it up.
Yeah, and then as far as like Christmas punk music is concerned, it's mostly not very good. Yet we do this every year now. All right, so yeah, it was my turn to choose. We've been going off the regular rotation where it's like my week, your week, kind of switching off, and it just so happened to be my week to choose the Christmas album. So I guess that means for the next one, we should just make sure that you get to choose the My Bloody Valentine in the rotation, but that'll also be like 2.5 months from now, or almost 3 months, basically. So we'll have to keep that in mind whenever we're getting to that point, but yeah, it was my turn, and so I was just going through. We hadn't done something from the 2000s in a few weeks, so I looked at the years that we've covered, and the year 2000 was the longest back that we went. So yeah, I went to the year 2000, and I tried to find anything Christmas-related to talk about, and it's a rough year. 2000 was a bad year for Christmas music, and what we're going to do is we're going to go down the list of the different genres like we normally do for a year, but we're going to focus only on the Christmas stuff. And you'll see that this is not a year that people are like, that was a great year of Christmas music. It is not. So normally you lead this section here. So Dylan, why don't you, even though I compiled the list this time, I could fill you in on some stuff if you don't know what it is.
Yeah, Christmas music. What do we have?
Pop. We got some pop.
Yeah, Christina Aguilera, My Kind of Christmas.
That is the #1 Christmas album on Rate Your Music sorted by popularity. That means it's probably the most listened to Christmas album on this list. And looking at this list, that's probably right. That is a big name, and that is an actual record that people know. Like, that Christmas album is one that people are like, oh yeah, there's that Christina Aguilera one. So
there's a Linda Ronstadt Christmas record, A Merry Little Christmas.
Yeah.
Not familiar with that one.
Yeah, would you be familiar with a 2000s Linda Ronstadt Christmas album?
No, probably.
And I didn't. It's so few to pull from.
Does it have her Spanish language, Mr. Plow? What does she say? No es macho. Es solamente un borracho. Avalon, Joy, A Christmas Collection, Christian Christmas music.
Yeah, some CCM. Yeah, that one was just like, well, I've heard of Avalon. It's a thin year for Christmas music. I don't know if it became more of a trend later in the 2000s or in the 2010s for more artists to do Christmas records, but it seemed like in the early 2000s they weren't really doing as many. But maybe it's just one of those weird random years that is just like, okay, this is all we have.
We've got a few rock Christmas records. Leonard Skinner doing Christmas Time Again.
Yeah, that was another one of the higher listed ones there, because I guess it's like, oh, we know who Leonard Skinner is. Don't know how good that is. I don't know what any Leonard Skinner post the plane crash sounds like, unless some of their biggest songs came from that, but I don't think they did.
They did not. No, you don't know anything after the plane crash.
Yeah, all the hits were pre-plane crash.
Yeah,
because the people who wrote them died.
My Morning Jacket has a Christmas record called My Morning Jacket Does Xmas Fiasco Style.
Yeah, it's short. I think it's like a little EP. It also might even be like a session type thing. Like, I don't even think it's like a full studio release.
Yeah. Coldplay has something called Mince Spies.
Yeah, that's a single. There's 2 songs on it. That's how thin we were in 2000. The next one is Neil Morse, Merry Christmas from the Morse family. Neil Morse is like the brother of one of the guys from Kansas.
Yeah.
He's also a Morse, but there's like the Neil Morse band, and then Neil Morse was in Spock's Beard, which was like one of those prog bands. Also Christian prog. So that's fun.
Kansas was Christian prog.
Oh, I didn't realize Kansas was considered Christian as well.
I mean, they have some pretty Jesus-y stuff.
I remember looking through HM Magazine, which was the Heaven's Metal magazine, which is the Christian metal, punk, hardcore magazine that I used to get. And there would, like, every issue would have like this full page ad for whatever label it is that Neil Morse's Spock's Beard were on. Cause it would be like, I think he had a band called like Propane, but not spelled the same way. No, was it Protocol? Maybe Protocol. What might have been their name. Anyway, there was like a bunch of like prog on this page, and it was just like they would always have like a Kansas record in there, and I'd be like, huh, that's weird. But yeah, Spock's Beard is pretty rough if you've ever heard it. It's not great, but it's also we continue our prog because Rick Wakeman had a Christmas Variations album, and that's Rick Wakeman's from Yes. He was the keyboard player, right?
That sounds right.
Yeah, he's like an early Yes before they turned it to the other Yes in the 80s with the Buggles guy. And most for me, Rick Wakeman is just associated to that Dead Kennedy song where Jello Biafra is like, eat your heart out, Rick Wakeman.
We've got some country Christmas records. We've always got some country Christmas records. We've got ones from Lone Star, She Daisy, Billy Gilman. There's a Vince Gill.
Oh yeah, I
definitely Vince Gilligan. I was like, the creator of Breaking Bad. Bravo, Vince.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Vince Gill, but yes, I typed out Vince Gilligan in the notes.
Vince Gill, Olivia Newton-John, and the London Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could have put that one with the next one, which is our classical here. The Three Tenors Christmas and Charlotte Church's Dream a Dream, when Charlotte Church was still a little girl. Now, this is my favorite category, because this is the stupid shit. This is the dumb stuff.
Which there's quite a lot of.
There's so much. I called this the novelty section, and this is where I put the, like, kid stuff, the TV show based things, the literal just joke stuff. Yeah, so let's go through this one.
Kind of a big lineup here. We've got A Very Ally Christmas from the Ally McBeal Show. Very
heavy on Vonda Shepard, because she was, like, on the show. She was, like, a cast member of that show. There's another one that's just credited to Vonda Shepard called A Very Ally Christmas as well. I don't know if that's just like a multiple submission thing, or if because, I don't know, maybe there was a separate version where it's like only Vonda Shepard, but the official one is mostly Vonda Shepard. The next one's my favorite.
NBC's Celebrity Christmas.
Where they take actors from NBC television shows in the year 2000. Read this list.
Oh my God. Sean Hayes, John Lithgow, Katie Seagal, Wendy Malick. What was Katie Seagal on?
I couldn't figure that out either. Because like all I know Katie Seagal from is Married with Children, which was Fox. 10 Things I Hate About You, which that was like ABC. and Sons of Anarchy. So I don't even. It must have been like a one-season show that didn't make it.
Futurama.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Also Fox.
Yeah.
Wendy Malick, Martin Sheen, Megan Mullally, and Jay Leno.
And that's not everyone. There's a few other names.
What is this?
It is actors.
Are they singing?
They are singing. Yes.
No. Jay Leno's not singing. There's no way.
I guess I should have just pulled
He's probably
up.
just like telling jokes over Christmas music.
So his is, I bet he's joking. I did not listen to this compilation, but I do have what they did.
We should have done this compilation.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Let's see. John Lithgow does it with someone named BB Newirth, and they do Baby It's Cold Outside.
I'm sure John Lithgow actually sings. John Lithgow can actually sing.
Yeah, I mean, he did Broadway and stuff.
Broadway.
Casey Gall does Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. She actually had like an album, I think, too. Like, I think she tried to do music before she got big on TV. I forgot to mention Marie Osmond's on here too. Oh Holy Night. Wendy Malick doing Santa Baby. That fits with her, especially what she was doing on Just Shoot Me at the time. Who else? We got Martin Sheen, John Spencer, and Stockard Channing doing Wonderful Christmas Time. Megan Mullally doing Silent Night. That is not the energy I anticipated Megan Mullally to be bringing. And yeah, Jay Leno does 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, which means it's probably just him. So "'Twas the Night Before Christmas, and up in the house there was Christmas there." Yeah, that's what he did. I'm sure he put jokes in it too, but
it was stirring, but not even the mouth.
I'm sure it's got like topical 2000s humor in it too. Yeah, except for like Dick Cheney, Al Gore. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, we should have done. Keeping the TV going, there's the Rosie O'Donnell, Another Rosie Christmas. She had a talk show. I think she sang.
Yeah.
She sang on her show all the time, too. So
she insisted on singing.
Yeah.
I don't know if Rosie O'Donnell should have been singing.
And there's the Soul Train Christmas Starfest album. I don't even know. I don't think I could get a track listing for that one. And then Rockapella, who that was the group on Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego, who did the acapella theme song. So they had their own Christmas album, which I bet is terrible. Some kid stuff, the Wiggles, You'll Be Wiggling.
Which we also should have done. There's a lot of contenders here.
We've probably heard that one on All Reality. Except they'll be doing songs about like, "This is the Kookaburra Christmas." Like, oh, okay. It's too Australian sometimes.
It's summertime.
Yeah. We'll have a beachy Christmas where the koalas are blooming. Like, what? Arthur and Friend, Arthur's Perfect Christmas.
It's their second Christmas album.
I wonder if Captain Featherbottom has a song on it. And then I put these under novelty as well. Bob Rivers, Chipmunks Roasting on an Open Fire. That's a radio DJ comedy Christmas album. This is the time period where radio stations and their morning show hosts would put out albums of things. There's Rockabilly Xmas, nobody really notable on there. Hawaiian Slack Key Christmas, literally no one on that one. And the Bermuda Tree Frogs, Jingle Bermuda Tree Frogs. So that one's pure novelty there. But
is it frogs? Is it actually frogs?
Yeah, I think it's nature sounds. And they put some like bells in the background.
Just like field recordings of tree frogs over top of Christmas music.
I suspect it was a charity release, like raising money for we gotta save the Bermuda tree frog.
I'm surprised Bermuda has tree frogs. So all of those choices, what did you almost consider? There's actually kind of some notable stuff left.
Yeah. Notable and not so notable. So, the way I did it, I just pulled albums and EPs and compilations. So I was getting some like random stuff that would pop up. And one of these that came up, it was an EP. And I was like, this one makes the most sense for us to possibly do. It's probably the most well-known thing. And it's Weezer's Christmas CD. That is the name of it, by the way. Christmas CD. That should have told me right away. And I was like, yeah, I'll do a Weezer Christmas EP. Like, I knew Weezer had a Christmas record. I knew it existed. I was like, yeah, that'd be one to do. That's probably the most notable thing. I went to look at it. It's 2 songs. It's not an EP. It's 2 songs. I don't know why it's listed that way. And it's just like them doing 2 songs. They would do a Christmas record later. It's a couple years after this. Maybe like 05, 07, something along those lines. And so that's what I was actually thinking of as coming up. But yeah, not this one. I was like, well, okay. It's 2 songs. I immediately ruled it out because I was like, we wouldn't be able to do a whole show on just 2 songs. So Other options, Slade, The Other Side of Christmas. Now, this is another Christmas compilation, and it's, bands doing classics, but the bands on this record include the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, Less Than Jake, The Smithereens, Spinal Tap, R.I.P., Rob Reiner, Goldfinger, Beck, and Sonic Youth, and I was like, that would be a good one to do. Can't find it anywhere. It's not online anywhere. I don't think this is the first time these songs appeared anywhere. I think this is a compilation made up of songs from other places. So with this one, I was like, I can't find it. It's not really listed anywhere. Nobody talks about it either. I was just like, okay, I think this is just something that was slapped together for Christmas. So that one ruled itself out too, by nature of being unable to be found. I probably could have compiled this entire thing, but I didn't want to go through all that work. And the last one is A Very Milky Christmas, which I was like, what is that? This is another EP. It's 4 songs, but it features Alkaline Trio, The Promise Ring, and The Dismemberment Plan, as well as something called Doc J and DJ Dreidel doing Tonight Thank God It's Them Instead of You, which to me says that's a parody song of the, what is it, the John Lennon Christmas song. And I was like, okay, that's like a comedy song, I guess. And then these 3 other songs. I don't know where this came from. The only thing I could find is maybe it was put together by a radio station, because there's another poster from 2002 called A Very Milky Christmas, and it had like Archers of Loaf and Death Cab for Cutie on the poster. So my theory is this is maybe was a yearly show that they put on, and just so happened to be like this one year they put out a CD. Like, that's all I can kind of think of. So I don't know what those songs are or where they came from, but that's on YouTube. It's like 12 minutes long. If it wasn't so short, I probably would have selected that for us to do. But yeah, I mean, yeah, looking at that list of everything we've talked about, it's not a strong year. Now we have some also rans we'll get to, but all right, let's get into what we are actually talking about though. So it was my turn to choose. I got the year 2000 and I selected It's a Cool, Cool Christmas.
Sleigh bells ring, are you listening? In the studio, the lights are glistening, a beautiful sight, we're happy tonight. Alan Parsons in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird, here to stay is the new bird. He records a love song, the production's right on. Alan Parsons in a winter wonderland. In the meadow we can build a snowman and pretend that he is Alan Parsons. He'll say, have you listened to my new band? And we'll say no, but we really like that one song that goes, time keeps flowing like a river.
This was released November 21st, 2000 on Jeepster Records, and it is a 21-track compilation of US and UK indie bands, and it was compiled by Charlotte Susan and Jim Benner, and I'll get into more. Oh, I'll also mention it was a charity compilation sponsored by XFM and Jeepster Records, and XFM is a radio station, and I'll go into a little bit of their backstory, but...
So why did you pick this one?
Well, we were talking about it. We went back and forth a little bit. And once we realized that the Weezer thing is not a real option, I was looking through and I was like, well, this compilation has some people we like, some people we know at least too. Like, it seems like it's a notable release. It was one of the top 5 records on Rate Your Music for popularity in Christmas music. So I was like, okay, the stuff on there we know. It seems to be positively regarded. It's a little outside of our punk wheelhouse. It's mostly indie music and some other stuff, but I was like, it's close enough, and the other options just really were not doing it for me. Like, I just could not seem to find a good choice out of all that other stuff. Because there were all these, like, weird things that would rule it out for me. One, I couldn't find it. One, it's too short. One was too obscure. It's just like, I don't know. This is a tough year to pull from. And I do like the challenge of this version that we're doing, where, you get the year and you got to find something to talk about. That's how we wound up doing that Meteors record. Because that was the closest thing I could find to fit that genre that was like from a somewhat big name. So I was like, okay, I'm going to play the game. I'm going to find something to talk about. And this one just seemed like the obvious choice, the closest to what we're doing. And we could hear it. That was another thing. Like I found a playlist on YouTube of it. The album itself is not on Spotify, not in the US. You can find it, but it's got like most of the songs blacked out where you can't listen to them because I guess they just aren't licensed to use them here in the United States. But maybe if you got a VPN, you could probably get on Spotify and listen to it there. But it was fortunately all on YouTube. There's a playlist version. It's funny. It's missing a song on there. It's missing the Belle and Sebastian song on the playlist version, but that song is on YouTube, so it's very easy to find. And then for some reason, there's like a 2.5 hour hip hop beats compilation at the very end too. So my guess is somebody accidentally drug something over to a playlist when they were on YouTube, and oops. So that is not part of the Christmas album, just so you know. But I mean, yeah. Do you have any? Before we got into this, did you have any feelings on what this should be, or expectations of what it was going to be like?
I kind of recognized it when you. I'm pretty sure I've seen this album cover before, and when you sent me the track listing, the playlist, I was like, I know some of these. I know I have had some of these songs downloaded at some point, or they are on Christmas playlists that I've made before. So I was thinking like, yeah, okay, like this seems like a pretty notable indie Christmas record. I think it actually used to be on Spotify in full, and it is no longer there. But looking at the track listing, I was like, yeah, I've encountered some of these songs. I definitely knew a few of them. So my expectation based on that little bit that I knew of it and some of the names that I recognized, I was thinking this should be decent. And
save it.
We'll see if that came true.
Yeah, I mean, kind of basically my expectation too was just like good list of names. You know, it's not stuff everybody I listen to, but there's some people out here I do like and I recognize. So I recognize most names. There's a couple I didn't, but okay. So if we go talk about the also rans, this is the stuff that I feel like was probably closest to what we were looking for. And even then, some of this stuff is like not that close either. So I don't know. Well, you want to go through these?
Sure. What are we going through?
The also rans.
Oh. I didn't even realize we had an also rans.
Yeah. So, okay. Some of the stuff, it's like, there's some punk stuff. There's some metal. And yeah, there's not a ton of other like indie Christmas things. I mean, I guess maybe I could have put that My Morning Jacket down here.
Yeah, that would belong down here, really. So there's the Yobs Christmas album, which you sent me and was like, it's just the boys. And it was recorded in like 1979.
Yeah. Rate Your Music had it listed on the year 2000. It's some like compilation version of the Yobs. My guess it's the Christmas album plus some extra stuff, and it just got tagged as a compilation. So honestly, if this album had actually truly come out in 2000, I probably would have said, we know who the boys are. Let's do their Christmas alter egos, the Yobs. Because I think they only have Christmas albums under that name. But then I was like, it's a comp. It's not even really from 2000. That's why I skipped that one.
Yeah. There's something called Scum Element, Santa Clown.
That's listed as a hardcore record. I don't know what it is. I couldn't find... This is like... They had like an album, but I didn't know the label it was even on. I didn't know... I looked at the band members. I'd never seen where any of these band members came from. And I couldn't find it. But I was just like, well, it's a hardcore Christmas album. Whatever that is.
From Saskatchewan. Regina. Yeah, I don't know. They have 3 albums. One's called Basement Jam. It's archival. So they did a record in 98 and then a Christmas record. Weird. The Jimmies and the Darrells doing Christmas carols. Those are Lookout and Mutant Pop Records bands.
Yeah. I only included them as, again, it was like a punk rock Christmas split album. I was like, it says punk rock. And I looked up there, at least they were on labels that I'd heard of, the Lookout and Mutant Pop. So I was like, okay, well, maybe somebody knows who those two are. I don't, but.
Yeah, those are some pretty bottom shelf Lookout bands. Mutant Pop.
Mutant Pop is bottom shelf Lookout too, if you really think about it.
Tom Angel Ripper of Sodom.
Yep.
Did a record called Ich glaub nicht an den Weihnachtsmann. I know night.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Translating that to I'm glad you're a Christmas man. Weihnachtsmann is Christmas man, I guess.
Weihnachtsmann. Oh, me? I'm something a bit of a Weihnachtsmann. I put it on here because I'm just like, metal's adjacent.
It's a generic German term for Father Christmas, St. Nicholas, or Santa Claus.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Christmas man. What's his name? The Christmas man.
I like that they're just like, yes, Christmas man. It's like, Santa Claus? Yes. Santa Claus?
Yeah, I'm curious to hear the guy from Sodom do Christmas music. Kevin and Bean, the real Slim Santa, which we know what that's a reference to. Mm-hmm. For K-Rock, it's a K-Rock comp with Weezer, U2, Phoenix, Texas, Say Ferris, MXPX, Eve 6, The Vandals, and Blink-182.
You know, that probably could have been one to do. I don't know. I don't know if I even tried to find it, though. Because it does have, like, it looks like it has sketches on it, too. And it's like, man, radio DJs, they had so much power back in the day. Like, they could put out albums of their stuff. It's like, it's never that good. It's good enough to listen to in the morning on your way to your shitty job you don't want to go to. Also, I've never seen it called...
Hey, Kevin, what's up, Bean? Are you ready for Christmas time?
I've never heard anyone say Phoenix, Texas. I always thought it was just... People just called them... Well, I always called them Phoenix TX. It's probably Phoenix TX.
Yeah, I don't know. It is Texas, right? I don't know. Phoenix,
I don't
Texas.
know. I never listened to that band.
Slay Me, another play on Slay with the Sleigh spelling. A collection of retro holiday classics, including Big Bad Voodoo Daddy and Los Straitjackets.
Yeah, those are the only notable names on that compilation there. It's those kind of bands doing old Christmas songs. And then I pulled the Jeepster Records 2000 release schedule, and they released Belle and Sebastian's Fold Your Hands, Child, You Walk Like a Peasant, which I don't think I've ever heard the name of that record before. I like that. The Gentle Waves, which is Isabel from Belle and Sebastian. She put out a record called Swan Song for You. And then Looper, which is Stuart from Belle and Sebastian, doing his solo project. That record's called The Geometrid. And there's other music from the bands Salaco and Snow Patrol. There's like a Snow Patrol EP. But yeah, so basically Jeepster Records is just the Belle and Sebastian record label. Is really what it exists as for a while there.
Remember last year when you were on your own, you swore the spirit couldn't be found. December rolled around and you were counting on it to roll out. Well, everything's gonna be cool this Christmas. 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 Everything's gonna be cool this Christmas.
Yeah, so let me do a little backstory on this compilation, or at least as much as I can. So this, like I said, was a charity compilation sponsored by XFM and Jeepster Records. XFM dates back to 1989 when it was a pirate radio station in the United Kingdom named Q102. Now, pirate radio has a very long history in England, going back to the 1960s. By the 1980s, the pirate radio was coming from within the mainland. They weren't off the coast anymore. It also wasn't illegal anymore. It used to be illegal, but at this point, it was legal. You just had to have like certain parameters around it. And yeah, the original pirate radio, they would broadcast from literal ships off the coast of the UK in international waters.
Which is badass, right?
It's cool as shit, right? Yeah. And it was because they were trying to supply the demand for pop and rock music that the BBC was not meeting. It was basically, I don't know what they were playing on the BBC then, but yeah, it was just like, there's this new form of music and you're not playing it. Well, the only way to do it.
Edifying music, I'm sure.
Yeah. I mean, it's probably just a bunch of they're still probably just playing swing and talk radio and classical. So yeah, Q102 was focused on playing indie music. The Cure was very involved with this station in the late 1990, and they used the station to promote their remix album from around that time. Probably because The Cure's like, nobody wants to promote our remix album. All right, let's find this pirate radio. In 1991, the station went off the air, but then DJ Sammy Jacob decided to reorganize as XFM. And the station was being broadcast out of Jacob's parents' flat. And while it wasn't illegal, it had limited hours. It was allowed to broadcast due to only receiving a short-term broadcast permissions. So they're able to get some permissions. Not very piratey of me, if you ask that. You know, that... yeah, we're a pirate radio, but we got permission to do it.
Oh, okay. We'll only play during these 4 hours.
Yeah. Which, whenever I read that, I just think of that episode of Dharma and Greg where Greg had a radio station out of his apartment.
Yeah.
But it was being basically only projected to the building because it didn't have a range on it.
Yeah. There was a Malcolm in the Middle episode where the dad had a pirate radio station he had in college, and he found his broadcasting equipment.
So the station begins to kind of, have some money problems, some financial issues. So they held a festival called XFM's Great Expectations with The Cure as the headliner. And the station would eventually go on the air permanently in 1997 and eventually rebrand as Radio X in 2015, which is still broadcasting today, except now it's just playing stuff like Florence and the Machine and Adele. They're known for like being the station, like one of the first stations to play them in England, which is like, I think you just got on it early. I don't feel like Adele was not going to make those other stations. Jeepster Records was a UK record label whose very first signing was the newly formed Belle and Sebastian in 1996. And the second act ever signed to Jeepster Records was Snow Patrol in 1997. So, one, I didn't know Snow Patrol went back that far. And two, that's kind of all the label is. It's Belle and Sebastian related bands and Snow Patrol. Cue the Is It Snow Patrol.
Did I say Snow Patrol?
So part of the inspiration for this record came from the Flaming Lips announcing that they were going to be doing a Christmas album. So I guess they said, Flaming Lips are doing a Christmas record, we should do one too. I don't know what happened to that Christmas album, because they do have a Christmas record, but it's much later in the 2000s. So I'm not sure if they planned on doing it and it didn't happen. The Flaming Lips do provide a song on here that is called, it's a cover of White Christmas, and it's labeled Demo for Tom Waits, because they anticipated a bunch of guest artists on their Christmas album. And there's no Tom Waits Flaming Lips Christmas song anywhere on the internet. Yeah. So it just didn't happen. I guess as they tried to do a record, it didn't happen, because who was paying attention to the Flaming Lips in 2000? But and the proceeds from this record were to support The Big Issue. It's so British. It's so British to be like, yes, this is a charity for The Big Issue. It's like, what is that?
The XFM Christmas charity comp for The Big Issue.
The Big Issue is a street newspaper inspired by the New York paper Street News, which was sold by homeless peoples as a means to become self-sufficient and help get them back on their feet. So The Big Issue was founded in London to basically do the same thing. There's just homeless people, giving them a means of income. They created their own foundation that they use to help with housing, health, substance abuse issues, and personal finances. So it's basically like a homeless charity. It's basically what they do. And it's a paper that homeless people sell, which is a phenomenon I was unaware of.
So it's like the guy in Office Space who comes to their door. He's like, my name is Steve. I come from a rough area. I used to be addicted to crack, but now I'm off trying to stay clean.
Yeah.
Trying to sell magazine subscriptions.
Yeah, I guess it's basically the same idea. And then the bands who were approached for this compilation were given three options. They could cover a traditional Christmas song, they could Christmas up one of their existing songs, or they could contribute an entirely new song. So I feel like that's the only options you would have. So, and then this album was reissued in 2021 by Jeepster and War Child Records, which War Child Records itself is also like a charity record label. I think they help out children from countries where they were soldiers, like child soldiers. Rough stuff. This record is beloved in the UK. It was considered a hit. People were massive fans of it at the time.
Which, can I just say, of course it is. Of course this is beloved. This is, we love it.
Yeah, I mean, this is 100% what British people love. This kind of thing.
This is like their Happy Christmas compilation.
Yeah, only appeals to people of a certain group. Just listen to these. AllMusic writer Tom DeGravina described the album as inspired good fun, calling it without a doubt one of the better alternative holiday collections. Very well regarded. So well regarded that like 20 years later they reissued it. And it's been reissued again too. I think 2022 it got a reissue. So before we get into the tracks, I guess this is where we can talk about our feelings on this.
Yes.
So what did you think of this cool Christmas?
Oh, man. You told me that you had an angle for how you were going to approach this compilation. And after I had listened to it, I messaged you and I said, was your angle going to be that it sucks?
No, my angle was just to look into like pirate radio. That was my angle. That I was like, I got to fill this up with something. Okay, pirate radio. That's the most lengthy thing I could find here. That was what I was like. I found a background.
Your angle was that this compilation of 21 songs, you needed to pad for time. Fuck. It's bad. I did not like this.
Like, at all. I
mean, I liked certain songs.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Listening to this whole thing was such a slog.
It was so hard to get through. So I listened to it earlier in the week, because I usually listen to it at least twice. I try and do 3 listens, but that didn't happen with this one.
I can't imagine listening to this twice.
Well, I listened to it while I was like doing other things. And the whole time I was doing these other things while it was on, I'm just like, tuning out most of it, because I'm just like, it's not grabbing my attention at all. And then it gets to a point in the record where I'm just like, what is this? This is so boring.
It starts to like suck the energy out of you.
You hit the middle mark and it just is like, ugh, oh, my energy's gone. And
then you're swimming through molasses.
And I kept looking at it and I'm like, how many are left? There are 7 left? Oh, like I just kept looking at it. And then I would get further in. I'd be like, I've got to be almost done now. And then it'd be like 4 left. I'm like, why are there still 4 left? It's such a long record too. It's over is it over an hour? I don't have an actual playtime on it.
72 minutes.
Oh, fuck. I know it was a double LP. 72 minutes. Holy shit. This is way too fucking long. Everyone just decided to be like, we're going to write boring versions of the songs. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess this is the time period for indie rock, right? 2000, it's just everybody is postmodern and like, we don't want to do anything enthusiastic or fun. Like, that would just be corny. Like,
and you know, it's like, yeah, this is the label that's known for Belle and Sebastian and Snow Patrol, you know? So it kind of checks out that the whole record's slow. But the thing about Belle and Sebastian is they're slow, but they're still good.
This is the point where Belle and Sebastian, I drop off, I guess. I'm very much just the first 2 records and like half of the 3rd record. Like I've tried to listen to other stuff, or Fold Your Hands, Child, and like, yeah, and later stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not into it. I just can't connect to it. I really, really enjoy those first 2 records. I think they're great records, but they just got, I feel like they just got too into themselves. Yeah. And I think they get softer. They get slower. It's not as like rough around the edges and twee.
And I've always thought Snow Patrol's boring.
Weirdly, the Snow Patrol song on here is one of the better songs.
It really is. Yeah. Yeah. Looking at this list of artists, I was like, I mean, I don't really care about Grandaddy or Calexico, but like, it should be fine. You know, it's kind of how I thought like a lot of this was. And then there was like, there's a Teenage Fanclub song on here that I was like, well, that'll be a good one. Not to give it away, but that one's not even good.
It's
like,
fine.
It's one of the better ones, but
it's like 2 minutes long
and 75% instrumental.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it too, but it's just like, what is that? I mean, like, I know what it is. I remember I know the time period that this stuff came from, but like, man, it's just boring, and it was a slog to get through. It's way too long, and most of the songs are not memorable at all. And
quite
for the
a
most
few
part,
are actively annoying.
Yeah.
Oh come Emmanuel, and run ransom captive Israel that mourns in lonely exile here, until the Son of God appears. Rejoice, rejoice, Emmanuel shall come to thee, O Israel. O come, thou Lord of my...
So this is a compilation, so we will go through them. But don't worry, we're not going to take forever on each song, because there's not a lot to say about most of them. So I guess we'll just start going through them. Really, this is just so as to highlight what sucked the most. Okay, the album kicks off with Alan Parsons in a Winter Wonderland by Grandaddy. Grandaddy is from Modesto, California, indie rock band. This is produced by Jason Little of the band. And this is a take on the Christmas classic Winter Wonderland with some updated humorous lyrics. The lyrics are Alan Parsons instead of Parson Brown. That's the joke. And they built a whole song off of that one joke. And it stinks.
Yeah, bad joke.
The joke sucks. It doesn't hold up for the length of a song. The syllables don't fit, so they're like jamming in like whole syllables, and the song, like each verse is like about a thing about Alan Parsons, which at the same time I'm just like, I know what Alan Parsons is. It's a prog rock band, and like I've never listened to them except for the Bulls opening theme. You know. Yeah. Oh, good joke. Good joke, guys.
Hilarious.
Now, here's the quotes I was going to read. So, according to Tim DeGravina, Grandaddy's Alan Parsons in a Winter Wonderland, with its lyric about building a snowman and pretending it's Alan Parsons, might be the funniest song from 2000. The BBC Richard Banks called Alan Parsons a stroke of comedy genius. Scott Miller in his book Music, What Happened? That feels like a book name in like a like a Mighty Wind or something like that. Music, What Happened? Suggested that Grandaddies probably deserve immortality just for this song. Ireland's public broadcasting network RTE called the Grandaddy song downright silly, while Exclaim called it one of our favorite indie rock Christmas tunes ever. And that tells you everything you need to know about why this is a beloved Christmas album. They think this shit is genius.
Yeah.
And it's bad. It's not funny. The joke wears out immediately, and the music sucks. It's just whatever. A basic ass version of like Winter Wonderland.
Nothing to come back to.
No. And you know you're in for a bad start when this is like one of the stronger songs. And I guess I'm going to do this for every song on here, but this was released the same year as Grandaddy's album, The Software Slump. So kind of give you an idea of where in their catalog we are. So, all right, up next is Little Drummer Boy by the Dandy Warhols. Dandy Warhols are from Portland, Oregon. They play psychedelic alt-rock, kind of. The Dandy Warhols are a band that I have heard of and seen their name, but probably never listened to before.
Yeah, they're just doing kind of the psych revival thing, post-Britpop.
This song originally appears on the 1995 Christmas compilation It's Finally Christmas, alongside Dead Moon, Poison Idea, and more Portland artists. I wish we were listening to that instead, but it came out in 95. This is a pretty much straightforward cover of The Little Drummer Boy. It was produced by Courtney Taylor of the band and Tony Lash. Released the same year as their album 13 Tales from Urban Bohemia. And it's like kind of got a drony psych thing going on here. It's not really adding anything new to it. Really, it kind of reminded me of those like early 90s Britpop covers of like 60s psych songs. You know, those like all those like early Manchester bands who just were like also had like psychedelic elements to their songs with baggy beats underneath it.
Yeah.
But they would do like covers of like, you know, hippie songs like Incense, Peppermint, and that kind of stuff. That's kind of what it felt like to me, just without the like baggy beat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's competent. It's not one of the more unlistenable songs on here. It's not particularly exciting.
Because the original is not that exciting either.
The Little Drummer Boy are worth hearing. So,
you know, my problem with Little Drummer Boy is that it has the same melody, I guess, throughout the whole song. It's always been one of my least favorite of the traditionals, just because it's just like It's just too slow and too low energy. It's like, this is a song about drumming. Where's the drum solos, you know?
Yeah. Where's the polyrhythms? Where's the...
Yeah. Again, one of the better ones.
Yeah, actually.
This one has some energy, funnily, because the original doesn't. All right, number 3, it's Every Day is Christmas by the Webb Brothers. They're a Chicago-based rock band, and this is a cover of the Chamber Strings song written by one Kevin Jr., who is also in G.G. Allen and the Toilet Rockers. I don't think I knew that one, that G.G. Allen side band. And this was released the same year as their album Maroon, the Webb Brothers album. And this has got like a little like Cars kind of sounding intro to it. But they're singing very boring. They're just doing the no affectation vocal style thing. Kind of reminded me of Blur at some points, too.
Yeah, this one really didn't do anything for me. It was kind of there, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
Still not one of the worst. It is one of the stronger ones, to be honest.
They front-loaded this comp.
And backloaded it.
You think the end is backloaded?
They put some big names on the back.
They moved some names
corner.
back there to make you listen to it, but yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, I guess technically I would say it's backloaded. It's the middle of it, like it's that dead zone. Again, just fine. Nothing remotely memorable though. Okay, next is Eels. Everything's gonna be cool this Christmas. Eels are the LA indie rock band. This is an original song, though it does appear on their 7-inch Cancer for the Cure in 1998. And this Christmas album was released the same year as Eels' album Daisies of the Galaxy. Is this the best song on the compilation?
Yeah, actually. I knew this one. I've had this one on my playlists in the past. I had downloaded it at some point. Weirdly had like a whole Eels record at one point on my iTunes in college. So I knew this one, and it is the best song on here. It's actually fun. It's upbeat. It's rocking.
There's another song that I might say might be the better song, but it too also came from a previous release. This one came from a previous release. One of the other ones we just mentioned came from a previous release. Those are the best ones. The ones that were not made specifically for this compilation. But yeah, this is arguably one of the best, if not the best. It has a fun little line in there, "Baby Jesus Born to Rock," and there's an organ solo in here. It's decent. It's upbeat. Definitely one of the more rocking songs on here.
And it's kind of more rocking than Eels even typically is.
That's what I thought.
He's leaning more into like the power pop side of what he does. I think it's really just the one guy behind that band. Done a lot of different things, but typically I think his stuff is slower. I remember the one record that I had being slower than this, generally.
All right, next it is Feliz Navidad by Elvis. So, Elvis is a Mexican-style Elvis impersonator, borrowing from Latin rock, Mexican rock type stuff too. This is a combination cover and interpolation. So it's the, Feliz Navidad, the Jose Feliciano classic, but also with lyrics from Public Image Limited of their song. I think it's just called Public Image. So it's like a weird switch up. This was released the same year as the album No Elvis Si, which this song also appears on. I also think Elvis only does Christmas albums too. It's one of those kind of bands. I could be wrong, but this is all right. It's upbeat. It's kind of surfy. It's kind of strong. This is another of this is in the top 5 best songs on the compilation.
It's okay. I couldn't really get into it, and I feel like it's too many layers of novelty.
Right. Cover of Jose Feliciano. Public Image lyrics. Kind of a rockabilly, punky Mexican Elvis. It's just too... You're right. It's hat on a hat on a hat of a gimmick. And when you listen to it, you don't even get really most of it.
Yeah.
He didn't sing like Elvis on this song. Does he not sound like... Does he just dress like Elvis, but doesn't sound like Elvis?
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, one of the better. We're about to enter a black hole here, though.
Yeah. This stretch is brutal.
Yeah, oh man. It is a rough stretch. There's one breath of air in the middle of it, but that's... okay, so it is Christmas in Waikiki by Morgan. Morgan is a London recording artist, Morgan Nicholas. or Nichols. Nichols? Yeah. From the band Senseless Things. He would also go on to play in... Well, okay, it wasn't in the bands, but he played with them. I'm assuming like session work or live musician, but he played with Muse, Gorillaz, and Lily Allen. So he's kind of like an insider, industry insider. This is an original, and it was released the same year as his album Organized. And this song has a little dub to it. There's some Latin elements. We get organ, we get sax, we get steel drum, we get weird DJ scratches, we get like cartoon sound effects at the end. It's a mostly instrumental song too. It's nothing. It's a nothing song. I weirdly gave it a 3. That feels way too high. Why did I give that a 3? I feel like that should be a 2.
Yeah. I wasn't like... I was annoyed by it most of the listening. I was going to say, I don't think I was annoyed by it as much as some later stuff, but it just felt so pointless. And I'm like, is this what his music sounds like normally? Because that's awful. If it is.
Yeah, I didn't look into any of these artists. Nothing inspired me to look into their actual music, their studio albums or anything. Why would you? This is not inspirational at all. Up next is Maybe at Christmas Time by Drugstore. Drugstore is an English dream pop band that has a Brazilian lead singer. This is an original, and it was released 2 years after Drugstore's album White Magic for Lovers. It's acoustic, it's boring, it's whatever. This one didn't make me mad. I just can't remember shit about it.
Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot what this one sounds like.
It's just a woman singing to an acoustic guitar. That's really what... And it's an original, so you're just like, oh, okay. You can't just do... You can do a traditional just over an acoustic guitar, and I think people will be fine with it. You can't do a new original over only acoustic guitar and, like, expect people to remember it. You know? Oh, please save us, Belle and Sebastian, with your version of O Come, Emmanuel. Belle and Sebastian from Glasgow, Scotland, indie pop slowcore band. This is a traditional. I already mentioned this record came out the same year as the Fold Your Hands, You Look Like a Peasant by them. They do it weird.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It's fairly faithful to a traditional Christmas song. They just do the, like, kind of double time the melody.
Mm-hmm.
But the tempo of the song is still slow. So, like, the phrasing just feels really rushed, and it's just like, O come, Emmanuel, da 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 da. Like, they just do that melody in just, like, straight eights, and it doesn't have the impact that you're used to with that song. And I've heard versions like that, so...
It makes me think of the Simon and Garfunkel, Rosemary in Time.
Yeah.
It's like the music is super slow in that song, but they like kind of sing it kind of like that, like the way they sing this song.
Yeah, it's very medieval feeling.
Yeah, medieval folk sounding.
Yeah,
which is probably the more traditional way, but like we don't sing like that though anymore. So that's why it feels weird. Man, if they'd just done a straight version of it the way everybody else sings this song, I think it would have been better. But do you think they couldn't do it? It is a little bit more of a demanding vocal song out of the Christmas, hymns.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that anybody in Belle and Sebastian is known for having, like, big sustained melodies.
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to like this one much more than I did, but instead it's just fine.
It's one of the better songs on this compilation.
It is. We got I guess a melodica solo in there at the very end, too. All right, here comes one of my least favorite songs. Thank You, Dreaded Black Ice. Thank You by Giant Sand from Tucson, Arizona. Giant Sand are alt country, Americana, cowpunk sometimes. They're one of the early ones. This is an original song, obviously, because no one would ever repeat this if this was a traditional. And it was released the same year as their album Chore of Enchantment. Fuck this song, man. It's not a song.
Not really a song.
It's just a mess. It's a disharmonic mess of a song.
It's one of those Giant Sand, Howie Gelb fucking around kind of things that I don't like. I like a lot of Giant Sand stuff, but there's always stuff there throughout their whole discography that I'm just like, I don't like that. That's not a song. That's too noisy.
Yeah. It's not a song. That's my takeaway. It's not a song, and is annoying to listen to. This was one that was annoyed me very much so.
And this was a really disappointing one because I was thinking like, I think Giant Sand could do something really interesting with a Christmas song, but they chose not to.
Yeah. They chose the fuck around song, which to me shows you that they didn't give a shit either. Yeah, we got to ask you this Christmas comp. What do you want to do? I don't know. You want to fuck around?
It starts with him being like, and even there's like a little bit of studio chatter where he's like, all right, we're going to do the Christmas one.
Yeah.
So it sounds like it was tacked on to a recording session.
Yeah. Probably the same album recording session. This is one of the worst on here. And it was one that I was just like, oh, that might be a good one. Yeah, it wasn't. You want to know what's worse?
Somehow.
It's White Christmas demo for Tom Waits by the Flaming Lips. Flaming Lips, the Oklahoma City Freak Rockers. I don't even know what to call this band. This was released the year after their album, The Soft Bulletin. This is actively bad. Whereas the Giant Sand song was bad because it was just fucking around. This one is them singing it and fucking around.
This one is them trying and being terrible.
I think they're trying to be funny. I think they're trying to be like, we're going to do White Christmas, but we're going to sing it real bad because we want Tom Waits to come sing it on the record. But then didn't try and do like a Tom Waits thing. They just did this weird, like, I don't even know what he's trying to do. He's just singing it like shit. He's just singing it very badly, probably on purpose.
Like, it doesn't make sense for Tom Waits at this point. Like, I feel like a Tom Waits version of White Christmas at this point would have some like esoteric percussion and like, you know, like a salsa bass line and a baritone guitar and like White Christmas, and somebody's like dropping chains.
Yeah, it probably would have been better if they'd gotten Tom Waits for it. I do not like the Flaming Lips.
No, I don't get it. I don't get it. People love them. It's because of the bubble, right?
Yeah, they like the wacky antics. It's not the music they care about. I gave this 0 stars. I hated it so much. And I gave the Giant Sand at least 1, which I don't know why that one didn't bother me as much. All right, up next is we got a boring ass My Christmas Prayer by Saint Etienne. British indie pop band. It's a traditional. It's released the same year as their album Sound of Water. Very boring, and it kind of reminded me of a song that you would have heard in Twin Peaks, but not like a composed, you know, like the one where they're just like singing to the microphone randomly in the middle of the episode. Like that. Simple little electronic drum beat. Not anything to it, really. Boring.
Yeah, I very much disliked this one, too.
This run is bad.
Yeah.
Christmas Downer by Departure Lounge. You got the name right. British alt-rock band. It's an original song, released the year after their debut album, Out of Here. We got a lot of jingle bells on here. We got a lot of instruments, just randomly, just instruments are just playing. This one could have been better. I feel like there was a possibility that this one could have been fun, but it's not memorable. It's just so forgettable and boring. This whole thing is so boring.
Yeah, this like the couple songs after that Saint Etienne is where I was just like really itching for this to be over, and I'm like checking the play count or the track count, what's left. I'm like, how? Yeah, how is there more? I feel like I've been sitting here for an hour at this point.
Yeah, it does. That is about the same point where I'm like, are we done? Are we almost done? Can we get those last 2 songs that we know and get out of here? No, there's still so much more to go. God, it's so fucking long. Okay, I Believe in Father Christmas by 6x7. English indie band. This is a cover of the Greg Lake of Emerson, Lake and Palmer song. Did not know that he had a Christmas music. Released the same year as his as 6x7's album, The Closer You Get. Kind of shimmery, droney, kind of noisy. Nothing ever memorable though.
Yeah, I'm having trouble recalling this one.
Yeah.
It really did not leave much of an impression.
All right, so we finally catch our breath a little bit by Snow Patrol and their song When I Get Home for Christmas. Snow Patrol, or the Northern Irish/Scottish alt-rock band. This is an original song, and this was released the year after their debut album Songs for Polar Bears. Did everything they do was snow-themed? So it's got like a little distorted guitar intro to it. I will say, like, this is one of the better moments on the record, but it also doesn't really go anywhere. It's kind of like a repeating sort of guitar part, and it's not particularly memorable, but after like that slog we just went through, it was a welcome. I was like, oh, thank God. Something's happening.
There was a lot more to pay attention to with this song than the last several. And it was kind of impressive because it sounded like Snow Patrol. Mm-hmm. Like, it sounded like the Snow Patrol that you know, and this is like several years before I would have heard anything by Snow Patrol.
Yeah.
So they sounded like themselves from the beginning, apparently, which I did not know.
So next is Spiritual Guidance by Titan, which is a Mexican electronica group. It's an original. It was released a year after their second album, Elevator, and it has like a weird rubber band kind of beat to it. And my note on this one is, did we need 2 songs like this on the album? This is very much just like the, which one is it? The like the Departure Lounge song. I listened to it, I was like, there's 2 of these songs. We did not need this one. Oh, no. It's the next song. That was my comparison. The next song is like the same exact kind of song. It's that, like electronic music when like, do you remember when we did that one issue of the single action episode where we did on the year 1999 issue of Billboard magazine? And there was that song by that like DJ Puppet. Do you remember that?
Maybe.
He was like a little puppet sitting in an office, and this like woman came in and like gave him like his phone, and he like picked up the phone, and he sings on the phone. And anyway, it reminded me of that. It's just like, this is just electronic music that like the beginning of, I guess, is the beginning of that like IDM intellectual dance music stuff, and borrowing lots of like Latin music and
like acid jazz
samples
and the Big Boss Man one, I think, was a little more annoying.
Yeah.
The next song, Christmas Boogaloo.
Yeah, let's just dive into that one too. Christmas Boogaloo by the Big Boss Man. They were a London funk and Latin band. It's an original. It's released the same year as their album Humanized. And it was just like, oh, it's a continuation of the last song. But yeah, that one was annoying because then they spell out the word Boogaloo through the song multiple times. B-O-O-G. It's like, I hate spelling in songs too. It's just like, what are we doing? These 2 songs are just the same thing. It's 2 sides of the same coin. Electronic songs. We are through the worst, though. I will say that is the end of the worst. Because on the playlist, we have Teenage Fanclub doing the song Christmas Eve. And I was very excited to see a Teenage Fanclub song on here. I did think to myself, I don't remember a Teenage Fanclub Christmas song before, though. It's because it's not very good. They're from Glasgow, classic Jenga pop band. And this is a cover of the Gorky Zygotic Mincy. It's a song written by their future band member, Euros Childs. And this song came out the same year as their album, Howdy. And I said it's an almost entirely instrumental song until the very end of it. And then they all kind of harmonize together for a couple lines and the song's over.
Yeah, it's really disappointing because honestly, Teenage Fanclub could do Christmas music very well.
Yeah, it's funny, but they don't. They don't really do Christmas music. They're also not the kind of band... I felt like this for a while. I don't think Teenage Fanclub is the band that you need to go dig for any deep cuts. I think that they write their records and they go, these are the best songs we have. We're putting them on the record. Yeah, they'll put some stuff out as like B-sides for singles, but I think there's a reason why there's no compilation of Teenage Fanclub B-sides. It's because they're not that notable. There is like a fan boot comp of like, it's like a 6-disc fan comp that's all their stuff collected, but like, I don't think there's anything in it. Like, their most notable thing outside of what they ever did on their records is the Judgment Night song with De La Soul. And it's just like, Teenage Fanclub outside their records is so inessential and unnecessary to listen to.
Yeah, nothing has ever stood out that you've had to go out of your way to find by Teenage Fanclub.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, that's why they didn't put it on the album.
Yeah, you know why it's a B-side to a single instead of actually on the record. Because you're just like, yeah, it's fine. That's the best you get from deep cut Teenage Fanclub. It was alright. Yeah. Sounds like a non-single. But I was so looking forward to it too. I was like, oh, good. At least they're there. And even they were just like, oh, we're not trying either. Up next, Calexico's Gift Exchange. Calexico from Tucson, Arizona. They're indie band that also does like lots of like Latin music in their sound, lots of horns in their stuff too. This is an original, and it was released the same year as their album Hot Rail. This one's okay, you know. This one feels like the same level of Christmas song as the, almost kind of like the Grandaddy. You know, it's like, it's one of the better ones, but it's like not memorable either.
Yeah, it was fine. I enjoyed it about as well as I ever enjoy Calexico. They're not a particularly exciting band.
They're a band I want to like more, you know?
Yeah.
Because of their choices, right?
Yeah, on paper, they're honestly more interesting.
Yeah, like they use a lot of like Latin influence in their music. And like, it doesn't really come across in their music though. Like,
yeah, it's like they're like a Latin alt country band from Arizona. It's like, this should be better.
And it's not. All right, so our next one is Hwangerd Mer by Gorky's Zygotic Mincy. So in case you didn't get enough from the Teenage Fanclub cover, this is a Welsh psych folk band led by Euros Childs. He eventually joins Teenage Fanclub. This is an original song. I think they sing a lot in Welsh. This was released the same year as their album The Blue Trees. It's an acoustic guitar, there's some piano, there's accordion, it's sung in Welsh, there's some strings in here. Like, why is this guy in Teenage Fanclub?
I don't know.
He's been in it for a while, too. Like, he plays the keys.
Somebody's got to do the keys.
But, like, and he looks unhappy when he's on stage. Like, both times I've seen them, you know, he was with them on keys. And he looks irritated the whole time. Like, ugh, I don't want to be here. It's kind of like the look he has on his face the whole time. So,
I mean, I wouldn't say Raymond looks like he wants to be there either.
Raymond looks like he's not excited to be there.
I don't think Ray ever looks excited, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Norm's the charming one of the group. And now he just looks like your sweet grandpa. But Norm looks like Billy Zoom now. Kind of. But yeah. They got that bass player now who just smiles the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
The guy from Sweet Babu.
Yeah, Sweet Babu.
But he also is very unsure of what he's playing. He's just watching the drums the whole time. This one, like, feels like a traditional, even though it's an original.
I didn't mind this one. It
was fine.
It wasn't amazing, and I don't think I need to come back to it, but it was fine. I feel like it was one of the stronger songs on here. It's very competent, and it's very appropriate.
Yeah.
Like, I think for what they do, this is a good amount of effort was put into it.
You want to talk about some effort? Let's talk about the next song. It is Just Like Christmas by Low from Duluth, Minnesota. Low, legendary slowcore group. This is an original song, and this was previously released on their Christmas album, released the year before this compilation. This is the song that I was talking about. Like, I think this is actually my favorite song on the whole thing, but I also already loved this song because the Low Christmas album is one of my favorite Christmas albums. Like, I will listen to that Christmas Eve.
Yeah, I did forget that this is on here. This is definitely the best song. But, yeah, the two best songs, really, they were done for something else.
Yeah, their entire Christmas record.
Which is great.
Yeah, that's such a good album. Like, if you want a good Christmas record that is in the vein of what this album was going for, but way, way better. Like, yeah, the Low Christmas album is great. It's really good. There's a couple originals on there. There's a few covers. This one was an original. One of their faster songs, too. It's got a nice, like, upbeat to it. Yeah, I love this song. This is just such a good song.
Do you feel like the Low Christmas album is a case of someone understanding the assignment, or is it a case of Low can really just do anything?
It could be both. I do think Low can do anything. They just chose to do what they chose to do as their sound. And even within their own sound, they evolve throughout the years, too. Yeah. You know, like the earliest Low stuff is like fairly stripped down. Then you get into a little bit more complex arrangements in like the 2000s, and then they start experimenting with electronic elements in the 2010s. So yeah, they never stayed one exact thing, but you could tell the talent's there for them to get everything. You could tell the talent's there that they write such incredibly slow songs, but they're not boring.
Mimi doesn't even have a kick drum.
Mimi's drumming and singing at the same time. Maybe not in the studio, but live she does. But like, you know what I mean though? Like, you listen to a Low song and you're like, this should be boring, but it's gorgeous. Like, I've never been bored by Low.
Yeah.
Yeah, they understood the assignment. Christmas record. Let's have some fun with it. And they still maintained their sound, too. And then we end this on with one of the most unending, interminable, slow fucking things they could have chosen. In the Bleak Midwinter.
Bummer of an ending.
By Lauren Laverne, excuse me.
Laverne.
The British radio DJ and lead singer guitarist of the band Kaniki. This is a traditional song. This was released the same year as her solo debut EP, Take These Flowers Away. It sounds like a children's choir. I don't know that it is. It could just be her layered a bunch of times. This feels like, hey, you sing and you're a DJ. Maybe at one of their stations. I don't know if she's an XFM DJ, but I wouldn't be surprised if she was. You want to do a song? And like, okay, it's 4+ minutes. It's boring.
So bad. Yeah. I hated it. It made me mad. Because it was like, finally got a breath of relief. Because I was like, okay, I can ride through this, the Teenage Fanclub, Calexico, Gorky's. Like, not a lot of amazing stuff here, but it's fine. Mm-hmm. If the rest of the record sounded like this, it would have been much more enjoyable and decent. And then we hit that low, and I'm like, fantastic, this is an incredible song. And then we're going to finish on one of the weakest songs on the record? I was so mad. After all that time.
Yeah. This did not need to be this long. It didn't need to be a double album. Doesn't need to be 72 minutes. We could have trimmed the fuck out of this thing.
We didn't need the dumb, nothing instrumental stuff on here.
Yeah. That
sounds like... You know what a lot of that stuff sounded like? It sounded like the song that they were making in Peep Show. Where they book the studio time and they have the racist playing the cor anglais. It's just like dumb shit thrown together.
Why is this beloved?
It's British.
Yeah. It's in like half American too, which is also funny. They're just like, oh man, this was a brutal listen. This was one of the hardest things we've listened to for me.
This is baby Jesus' birthday spanking.
Yeah, yes. It was a birthday spanking. This sucked. Like, I just couldn't get into it at all. Everything was boring. There's like glimmers of interesting things that happen, but like, even then they're not that great. Besides the Eels and the Low song that are genuinely good songs, the best you get is, that was all right.
Yeah. And that's why those are actually the only 2 songs from this record that I knew.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a reason why they didn't migrate out of this compilation into like a 9 million playlists. Why have I not run across that Teenage Fanclub Christmas song before now? Well, because it's a cover and they barely sing on it. That's why. It's like, oh, nobody bothered to move it out of the compilation, The Eels song did make it out. The Low song made it out. I could see that Grandaddy song making it out if you really think the joke is funny.
Yeah.
Get it? Get it? Yeah, I get it.
The Grandaddy song feels like... You know what? It feels like early internet is what it feels like.
Yeah?
It feels like an early YouTube thing of being like, oh, you got to see this hilarious Christmas song.
Feels like it would have been on a You're the Man Now dog type landing page.
Yeah.
I also kept thinking Alan Partridge, because this was a British compilation, and then I was like, hey, that would have probably been better than Alan Parsons. But then the joke doesn't work. Sucked, man. What the hell? I was like, this will probably be our best choice. And then I listened to it, and I was like, we should have done a very milky Christmas. I don't know what we would have done otherwise. Those 4 songs would have been it, but ooh, bad. Just cannot get over how they were like, this is a beloved album. We're going to do a repress 20 years later. Did we win?
No.
Fuck no. No, we did not. We lost very badly. I look at that list of my almost picks. Even then, it's just like, oh, a 2-song Weezer CD or that little EP or that comp probably would have been way better to do than this one. But we learned our lesson, and that is the luck of the draw with this. Here's your year. Now find something that fits our gimmick for it.
Yeah. Well, you don't usually win the lottery,
right? Yeah.
So this is more in the spirit of our show.
We got you scratch-offs for Christmas. Oh, you didn't win anything, did you? Yeah.
You won another scratcher. You're not going to go get that scratcher.
Yeah. You'll throw it away
You'll
and
throw that
forget.
thing away.
Yeah. Ooh, let's rate it. What are you giving it?
1.5.
You went 1.5. I was going to go 1. I guess those good songs are giving it an extra half.
I guess there's just enough tolerable material.
There's like 2 legit good songs, 2, 3 like okay songs, some tolerable stuff.
I feel like the way you rate a compilation is different than the way you rate an album. You rate a compilation based on the strength of the individual songs, not the flow of the record.
Yeah.
Not the overall experience of listening to the record. That being said, the overall experience of listening to this compilation was so bad, it does drag it down. Regardless of what is good or at least decent. You know, there's plenty of songs on here. Like, if you were to actually average the scores of songs, I bet you'd wind up in like a 2.
Yeah.
But because of how bad the experience of listening to the entire compilation in one sitting was, definitely... Yeah, I could see a 1. I wouldn't entirely disagree with you on that. I'm almost there myself.
It was just such an unpleasant experience. Like, the highs are so far apart that it just makes it hard to listen to. I would never want to hear most of these songs again. I think you could take a big chunk of the middle of the record out, and you could knock it down to a 40-minute album, and it would have actually improved the score. It probably would have made it a more enjoyable listening experience.
And it might have actually made a 2 or 2.5.
Yeah. It definitely would have gone up in points if it was shorter and you dropped a bunch of this stuff. Just like, who cares about Teton, Big Boss Man, 6x7? Like, these are names you don't even know. They padded out the record too much. It's like, it's way too many songs for, like, nothing.
What are you talking about? Departure Lounge are massive.
I mean, maybe? I don't know. I don't think that those artists are even going to be like, what do you mean you don't like...
Our throwaway Christmas song.
What do you mean you're not a fan of Morgan? It's like, well, who's Morgan? You know, Morgan! From Senseless Things.
Senseless Things, Delacata, Vent 414, The Streets. Come on, John Rabbit Bundick.
But even when you get to stuff from people where you're like, hey, Giant Sand, I know you.
Oh, weird. Morgan is the son of Billy Nichols, who is like an obscure Brit psych rock guy. I've listened to his 1968 record, Would You Believe, and it's really good. That's hilarious. That I actually knew a connection to Morgan.
I do think it's fitting that the 2 worst songs are by American bands, though. Flaming Lips and Giant Sand being like... I guess that Laverne song was pretty horrible, too. But at the same time, I kind of give that one like it's a traditional, at least. I mean, White Christmas is a traditional, but...
Yeah, it's not that traditional.
Right. Yeah, man. It's a bad record. Do not recommend. No. Will not be listening again. I'll listen to my low Christmas album instead. Well, all right. I think that will do it for us. So, thank you all so much for listening, and thank you so much for listening to us this year. It's been a fun year. Lots of changes to the format of the show. We moved some stuff around, did things a little differently. I think the show is better for the changes we made, so we appreciate you all hanging out with us this year. The Patreon was a little spotty this year as far as recording. We missed a lot of weeks this week, at least weeks where we could both record together. So, though that was not unusual compared to a lot of shows I listen to too. So, I think everybody's kind of just had a year. I bet if you polled everyone you know, they would say this is one of their worst years of, recent memory.
Yeah, it was a pretty rough year.
It was a very bad year for me personally. Literally one of the worst years of my entire life. In several ways. Several ways. Probably every way you can think of it has been one of the worst years of my entire life. So, yeah, it was a bad year. I mean, that's why I'm not in the Christmas spirit, because it fucking sucked. And I'm not even one who's like, start over with the new year kind of mentality. But even now I'm like, let's get this fucking year over with, like, let's get some movement going. Let's do something. Yeah, bad year. Yeah. Very bad year. Difficult year to get through. So 2025, I'm done. Put a fork in me. And I was going to suggest, Dylan and I haven't really talked this over, but we're going to skip next week. So
sounds good.
As of recording, next week is Christmas for us. So it's just like, we're not going to have time to do anything. So that means you won't get an episode the week of New Year's, but you will get some bonus audio of, I'm going to do some solo stuff. I can dedicate some time to it if I don't have another show in there to prep. And maybe Dave and I will do a Bookenders. If that doesn't get recorded or released by the end of the year, we'll probably be the very beginning of January. We'll get that out, but I'll have to talk to Dave about that. See what our schedules are like, and then, the first episode back in the new year, that'll be our next episode, and we should be doing our best of 2025 episode. So Dylan and I need to figure out what we're going to talk about. We have lists. We just need to cross-examine and combine them into one collaborative list. So that'll do it for us. So thank you all so much. Hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah. That's happening right now as well. And any other, holidays around this time that are not Christmas that you celebrate. New Year's Eve, Happy New Year's, all that fun stuff. So thank you so much. You can follow us anywhere online at PunkLottoPod, all the social media, punklotopod@gmail.com, 202-688-PUNK is our voicemail line. And Dylan, where are we following you?
You can follow me at Husker Dylan, pretty much everywhere. Major Awards Band, also pretty much everywhere.
All right, that'll do it for us. So we will talk to you next time.